Well, they shared one qualm: that they should guard their own workplaces as sacred to themselves. Simon never visited the West Wing where Gregor conducted his research, and Gregor never descended the stone steps to Simon's refrigerated taxidermy practice. They slept, washed, and cooked in the East Wing of the gardens, which was split up with luscious ferns and vines into smaller rooms. A playful device allowed for a bath or shower in amongst tropical foliage, with the jungle flora appreciating this steamy atmosphere. An odd thing about this notionally see-through house was that barely anyone, except for the two gentlemen inhabitants, ever actually saw inside. It was set upon a commanding hill with a long, sweeping lane, stone steps, and terraces. It was ringed by a thick hedge and guarded by sentinel poplar trees. The wider grounds were kept by a squadron of villagers, hand-picked for their discretion or for their uninquisitiveness. They trimmed the lawns, spruced the bushes, mucked out the horses, and so on, enjoying generous pay and limited oversight from Mr. Sands. But they were never to set foot, or even peer, within the topiary fortress where the masters lived. The only villagers who even came close to the greenhouse were the post lad and the girl who dealt with the laundry. They would meet Gregor at the top of all those steps, where the privet reared up into an arch over an iron gate, to swap fresh mail for dirty clothes and vice versa. The story starts here at one such exchange, in part because the boy, Will, carried with him a long-awaited delivery, a crate marked with angry customs notices in both Dutch and Malay. But they also start here because the girl, Jenny, was entirely absent.
"Package for you, sir. Straight from Araby, by the looks of it."
Gregor eyed the crate with ill-concealed glee.
"It is a specimen from Indonesia, in fact."
He dropped his canvas sack of laundry and hefted the rough-hewn box from Will.
"And it took more than a few well-chosen words in the ears of powerful people to get it back here."
The young man just smiled and shrugged, making the most of his time near the greenhouse to nosy around the patio. Gregor tolerated this indiscretion, as all he could spy on would be the meticulously spherical rose bushes. The view inside the greenhouse was blocked by emerald, sun-hungry leaves, thick and waxy against the steamed glass.
"I guess Johnny Foreigner doesn't like you nicking his plants."
"I didn't steal this. I discovered it. And it's not a plant, it is a fungus."
"Finding or robbing, flowers or fungus, can't tell the difference myself,"
Will said with his cock-eyed smile. The corners of Gregor's eyes creased behind his spectacles, but he held his tongue. Now there was only the matter of the laundry bag, slumped on the floor between them. Both men stood there, just blinking at it.
"The girl, she isn't here?"
"No, sir,"
said Will.
"Jennifer's not turned up today."
"Why ever not?"
The lad shifted his weight, his countenance darkening.
"It's a sorry business, Mr. Sands. It seems—"
"Question withdrawn. She can pick up the laundry next time. Good man, off you pop."
Gregor turned sharply and rushed his acquisition to the laboratory, dragging the laundry behind him. He dumped the linen sack in the entryway, with shirts and smalls piling out onto the stonework. The post he cast carelessly near enough to a sideboard near the door. He had better things to do. There was botany afoot. Simon emerged from his underground workshop, blinking in the full light of morning. His jaw was pale and sharp, and scrupulously shaven. He stopped briefly at the pile of clothes on the stonework floor, looking this way and that,